All right, I've been kind of vacillating back and forth about what to talk about in this video. I think originally I wanted this channel to be, or at least my idea for this channel was to be like a career switch, navigation, pivot, career advice, not even advice type channel. But today I feel like maybe I want it to be more of a self growth, self improvement type experience where I feel like that gives it a little more flexibility to talk about insights and things that I'm learning and not just have it tied directly to my career. So there's a couple things that have kind of come to mind along those lines, and they still relate to a career, but it has to do with the kind of life and the type of person that I want to be. I feel like sometimes it's easy to feel like, and this applies to both career and just life, it's easy to feel like I'm out in the middle of the ocean and it's hard to know which direction to paddle because I don't see any land. For all start paddling one direction, I could be paddling further away from land. And if I paddle a different direction, I might be paddling further away from land that way. And so I feel like really what I'm coming to understand, or at least to do or try in my own life, is just to start paddling, and one of two things will happen. I'll either come across land, or at least be able to see it off in the distance and begin to paddle toward it, or I'll die of exposure. Those are like the two things that could happen, right? And so, I don't know, when I'm relating that to life and careers, like sometimes it just feels so overwhelming to try and think like, what should I do next? What's the next step? But I think that, at least for myself, I'd rather die paddling than die sitting there. So that's kind of what the approach that I'm trying to take. The other thing is that I wanted to talk about is just like our authentic selves and what it is that we really want. I think one of the hardest things with career choice for me, I guess maybe to reconcile, is we make some of the biggest decisions of our lives in our late teens and early 20s, many of us, or we decide, at least we think we're deciding, what am I going to do the rest of my life? For me, I got married at 22. Like, who am I going to marry? Who am I going to spend the rest of my life with? And we're not even to a quarter, for most of us, a quarter of our life, and we're making those decisions. So it can be kind of difficult. I've kind of grappled with this idea of, my career and the fulfillment and things like that. And it's easy to blame it on the system or the bureaucracy or the way I feel on other things, external things. But one of the thoughts I've had recently is maybe it's not those external things, but maybe my current career path just doesn't serve me like it used to, the way I want it to internally. Like, I'm a completely different person now than when I started on this path. I might look the same. My hair's thinning a little bit. I think I have more wrinkles. But really what I'm talking about is internally, like I'm not the same person that I was when I was 19 and 20 years old. A lot of life has happened in the last 14 years, and I still have a lot of life to live. Some of you who may be older than me, you probably think that I'm just a child still learning, and that's true to a degree. So just keep learning. And so it's like I'm a new person feeling a little bit stuck in my old life. So how do I How do I reconcile that? How do I grow into who I want to become? How do I grow into who I feel like I need to be or want to be? And that's really what I'm working on now. I think the main thing that I want from this channel is, yeah, we'll talk about career, we'll talk about life, but the main thing is I want it to be a place where I can be authentic and where we can talk about how to become more real with ourselves. One of my recent mentors, Dr. Michael Barta, he talks about true connection with people, and that in order to have true connection, we have to have four pillars. And he talks about that those four pillars are authenticity, who we truly are, being our real selves; vulnerability, letting others in to see our wounds, to see who we really are inside, who we really are emotionally, I think, who we are mentally, our beliefs. And that can be scary. He did say that vulnerability is really the courage to risk rejection. And I really liked that, because when we share our true selves, people are going to reject us. And that's one of the hard things about starting this channel. I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for a long time, but the fear of rejection has held me back. But I feel like at this stage of my life, I'm ready to be vulnerable, and I'm sure there's going to be trolls and naysayers and people who don't like to listen to me, but that's okay. This is who I am. That's who I want to be. I mean, you might have even noticed in this video, I have a different background than I did in the first video. That's because I have kind of a perfectionistic mindset sometimes, and I was trying to make things just right for the video. So I got a fake background and put it up because I didn't think anyone would want to see this 1970s wallpaper. I don't know if it's 70s actually. They might have put it up later than that, but our home was built in 1979, so it could be from the 70s. But after that first video, I was like, man, this doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel authentic to me. So I took it down, and now you can see my real background, which is my 1970s, 80s, 90s, somewhere in there, wallpaper. But yeah, to go along with that, just to be vulnerable. So the first two pillars, authenticity, vulnerability. The third pillar is transparency. And when he talked about that, I kind of wondered, what's the difference between vulnerability and transparency? They seem pretty similar. And I think I've learned that transparency is being willing to tell people what you're doing and what your motives are behind what you're doing. So again, with regard to this channel, for me, it's I want to create a community where I can help first. I want to talk a little bit more about that later, but I want to do something where I can be vulnerable, and if it turns into something more, I'm not going to lie. Like if this channel somehow blows up or gets a lot of followers, like, yeah, that would be great if I could do this type of thing and help people with whatever it turns into. That's what I want to do. And then the last thing is presence. And that means being fully present and engaged with who you're talking to. And that's something I've been trying to work on a lot. I still struggle sometimes, but I think I've gotten a little bit better at it. So when you're talking with somebody, getting off your phone, engaging them, asking thoughtful questions, sharing insights, that's what we talk about with presence. So I'm hoping that whether we're talking about career or life, parenting, that the ultimate goal is to improve in those four pillars and really, truly connect with each other. And as I share videos each week, you'll get more and more of a glimpse into who I am and my life, what I've gone through, what I've learned, what I've failed at, and my few successes maybe. So I think that's mainly what I wanted to share today, is just that life is like, we change. You might have heard the saying that leopards never change their spots, and some people feel like men men, women are like that. They never change their spots. They're always the same. And maybe that's true for some, but men are not leopards. So we can change, we can grow. As I think about the career and career development, I'll continue to share with you kind of what I'm doing. I mentioned in my first video that I've been doing the free online Harvard class, Computer Science 50 or CS 50. It's completely free. And I'm really just doing that to explore, to see if coding and computer science is even something I'm interested in. And honestly, with the new world of artificial intelligence and everything, I don't even know if that's a viable career. There's things I've looked into about progressing in that, but I'm not sure. I might end up, I'm not sure where all this will lead. The other thought I had this morning, I was walking during lunch at work, and I thought, I think the first thing I need to pivot a little bit with my thinking is to ask first, how can I help? What is it that I can offer that might help somebody else? And again, kind of going back to the nature of this channel and what the goal is I think right now with these early videos is to lay a foundation so you can get to know me. But the ultimate goal is to hopefully resonate with some of you, to connect, wherever you are. Whether, even if I don't ever meet you or know you personally, to connect and help you know that there's a path forward, that there's somebody who knows how you feel, potentially. And there's somebody who's kind of going through some similar things or has gone through similar things, and there's someone who wants to be the best that they can be as well. And I think the last thing I would say is my ultimate goal in life is to be, first, a good father, a good husband, a follower of God, a disciple of Christ, and then just be the best person I can be. And I think those all go kind of hand in hand. I'm involved a little bit in recovery circles, 12-step and different things. And one thing that comes across pretty frequently is that your recovery needs to be for you. You need to do it for yourself. You can't do it for anyone else. I was having this conversation last night that I think that's true, but as we try to be the best that we can be, sometimes it influences other people. So what we were talking about is our kids, like not doing it for our kids. But at the same time, I think our kids can give us strength, and that they can be a reason when we feel low or unmotivated or unwilling to do things. They can give us power beyond our own. And I think, that's one way that we can utilize a higher power, higher meaning above us or outside of ourselves, something that gives us strength when we don't have it ourselves. So I think that's another avenue that I want to explore as we move on. But anyway, today, main thing I wanted to kind of explore was that idea of true connection, to kind of talk about how maybe we'll want this channel to be a little bit broader than just career, although we'll talk about that a fair amount, and to have it be more about just improvement, self-improvement, and striving to become the best that we can be as individuals. And the way I plan on doing that is by sharing insights and things I'm learning along the way. Again, just like I said in my first video, I'm just a guy. And oftentimes I don't know what I'm doing. But just like, I don't know if you've watched Outdoor Boys, Luke Nichols, he says in a lot of his videos, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm excited to do it. And I kind of want to echo that. I don't know always what I'm doing, but I'm excited to do it. And I want to be able to share what I learn with others and hopefully help them along the way. And maybe even help them so they don't have to go through all the hard knocks that I might go through and go from there. But yeah, if this video resonates with you and you feel like my channel might be something that can help you both now and in the future, then I invite you to continue to follow, and I'll continue posting regularly. My goal is not to go viral, but to find and attract the individuals who are like-minded and want to be their best selves as well. And I'll see you a week from now.